Hello everybody, welcome back to Board Game Nation. We are doing the review of Marco Polo. A little bit of spoiler, I love this game. I mean, this game, I know I say this every time when it comes to a Euro, but this game might just be the best game of the year. I mean, there's quite a few contenders, but it definitely is up there. It is an excellent, juicy, thought-provoking, puzzle of a Euro game that you can really sink your teeth into. It is easy to teach. The mechanisms work well. There's a ton of variability in it, and it's a lot of fun. There are some Euros out there that you read the manual and then you come back to it 6 months later and you've forgotten this and that. This is not that kind of game. This game is fairly easy to understand, fairly easy to teach, but there's a lot of depth involved. And it's tough. And the actual special abilities and the special characters make the game so much different, and you have to play it so differently than you would otherwise. A lot of people say that the characters are slightly unbalanced. I would disagree with that. I think they're very well balanced, and I've seen people completely botch a game when they're using the easy character to use, where if you really know what you're doing, you'll succeed. Excel. Yeah. This game is really one of those Euro games where the more you play, the better you get, and I do enjoy that. I want something to actually get my synapses kind of firing. I don't want to just be bored with rolling die, and that's definitely not the type of dice game this is. This is, really thought-provoking, and there's a lot of variability. So, theme of the game, I mean, I do like the Marco Polo. I think the theme comes out. I like the artwork. I do feel like traveling. I mean, if you think about it, it does make sense that you would be, traveling and making trade routes and fulfilling contracts. It's Marco Polo, so it makes sense. The artwork, it's bright. A lot of people say that this game is difficult to read and see. It's like anything. You get used to it and it clears up. I don't have any problem with the iconography. It's very clear to me once you understand it. Mechanics are amazing. There's been a lot of games this year that have dice drafting, a pool of dice that you select your turns with. Now this is a little different. You roll your personal dice pool and you're using those, and those pips really do matter. I mean, in this game it really is better to have higher die. But that could also mess you up. You could be stuck with all these high die with not enough money, so you can't pay the cost to use the actions that you want. So there's a balance. You want some, smaller die, but you also want some, a six-sided die as well. But the mechanisms is where it really is in this game. The worker placements, how the worker placement actions change, and that you can't get to certain worker placement actions unless you travel there, and is it worth it? And you really have to start thinking about, looking at the points and saying, does each point, everything that I spend for that point, is it worth it? And will doing that action generate me more points? And once you get that down, you start really, getting into the fun of the game and utilizing each action. You can get boned with the roll of the die, but there are many ways to mitigate it if you're traveling. If you're traveling, you can mitigate it by doing a couple of things. But there are some times where, you didn't get what you need, or some other people took it away from you. Sorry for the babies. They're screaming. Things I didn't like. I don't know. I really do like this game. I really think it's got a very tight feel, and the mechanisms are tight, and the board is tight enough that you really you can get boned, but you can, if you're smart, you can get out of it. I like that. I want a challenge. I don't want, a breeze walk. I do like a challenge. A rating, this is a 10 out of 10. I know I've been given a lot of games a 10 out of 10 this year, but this is definitely a 10 out of 10. It's going to be in the top 10 for me for the year, and it's an excellent choice. If you like Euro games, this is a must-buy. You have to get it. It is light enough that you can bring your friends off the street, or it's easy enough to learn that you can bring some people off the street and play with. But it's heavy enough that you'll enjoy whipping their butt while they enjoy figuring out their own puzzle, right? So it can bring a bunch of people to the table. Unlike Lagrange, which is an amazing game, Lagrange, it can scare away people, right? It's almost sometimes overly complex. This is quite simple, but there's a lot to go through. There's a lot of layers. I can teach the game quite easily, but I can't make people good at the game. It's meaty enough that there's a lot of layers to it, and you're going to you're going to enjoy a lot of hours going through those layers and experiencing it. So 2 thumbs up for Marco Polo, 10 out of 10. Thank you very much. If you want to see anything more for Board Game Nation, you can check me out on my channel and give me some thumbs up, and have a good night.